Oh my god. Dude, this guy is unironically the scariest one in the game. And he's the slowest, and he's the smallest. And for some reason, he is just by far the scariest.
He is more than a man. His aura chokes the strongest of enemies. His will breaks the impossible. He has fallen 1,000 deaths, and yet he always rises again. He made the whale bleed. He made the Archbishop of Sin scream. His mind has been torn, his body broken. But the fight is his alone. He is the Knight of Amelia, the walking nightmare of his enemies, a shadow that rewrites fate, a man marked by witches, a victor who mocks death itself, and the bloody Lord.
That's what I get for holding up in my room all day gaming. Guess my eyes are tired. So does this mean I've been summoned across the universe to another world?!
I'm gonna live till I die. I'm gonna laugh instead of cry. I'm gonna take the town and turn it upside down. I'm gonna live until I die. They're gonna say, what a guy.
Forge you out of sets on a truck. 1 to the kidney, 2 to the dome. That's left, right, go. Got a rollie for the brunch and a paddock for the show. That's left, right, go. Got a big new body and a whip it like a pro. That's left, right.
We were playing in the sand, and you found a little band. You told me you fell in love with it, hadn't gone as I planned. When you had to bid adieu, said you'd never love anew. I wondered if I could hold it and fall in love with it too. You told me to buy a pony, but all I wanted was you.
Just like an angel, your skin makes me cry. Felt like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I to do?
I've heard this laughter before. The voice of a man I hated to death. No, it's me. I'm laughing at myself. A dream. I saw a dream. A dream that wouldn't end. Over and over again, I repeated and corrected every mistake. But before I knew it, I lost count. I died.
Tell me why. Why do you stand there crying?
Subaru, are you alright? Because if something's troubling you, you're welcome to talk to me about it.
If I could tell Amelia that's no use, that I can't take it anymore. Wait, that's it.
What?
All this time, I've been struggling to change things alone. But what if?
Subaru, are you sure you're okay?
There's something important I want to tell you.
Yes.
Emilia, several times up until now, believe it or not, I've died. Whoa, wait. This is seriously no joke. What's happening?
What is it?
Long ago, I kinda feel bad for those consumed like snapshots, the new pitch. They all get exposed,
お前はその人じゃないって。レムの英雄は世界一です。どうして怒ってくれないの
？The stereo so strange. It doesn't go away. If you I wonder where you come from.
優しい世界。
気持ち悪い。気持ち悪い。気持ち悪い。
On to something, tell your uncle, sister.
はぁ？肉体の時間を止める獅子の心臓。そう言い換えてもいいぜ。答え合わせは。なあ、その顔を見りゃ十分だな。ラインハルト版アストレア。化け物ね。そうだ、僕は化け物を狩る化け物。
The only result when facing Natsuki Subaru is defeat.
俺は死んだら時間を遡って世界をやり直してる。俺は死に戻りよ。死に戻り、死に戻り、死に戻り、死に戻り。
落ち着きなよ。君の気持ちはわかるけど。
俺は死に戻りしてたんだ。何度も死にやり直してる。俺は死に戻りよ。ずっとこっちに来てから、ずっと誰にも言えず、何度も。
Subject. Subaru Natsuki, ability, return by death, allows the user to return to a given moment in time after dying. Death count, over 100 million.
Reality!
Get you filthy thing! So much funny!
It hurts! It hurts! It hurts!
Does it hurt? Are you suffering? In pain? Do you want to die?
Die? Am I dead? Am I still alive? When will I die? When will I die? When?
Now slower and slower and slower. Yes, slower and slower and slower and slower. Yes, you're slowly losing body heat.
You're fit.
Don't you think my night technique has come a long way in just one day? Family finally awakened.
You're fit. You're fit. You're fit. I should be able to rest better. I should be able to make them rest better. I can't fail this time. I can't waste a single second. I have to throw all my strength into my work and produce some kind of result for it. It's finally over.
What's wrong, Subaru?
I have to get away from Amelia. From everyone.
Subaru, wait! Stay away!
What's going on? Julius, stay away from... You're too late. That is not Subaru.
That's right. I am a Sin Archbishop of the Witches' Cult.
What a fantastic body this is! It's been decades! Use your sword and kill me! Oh, don't ask me to do such a thing. You have to hurry! No, Subaru! I will not do that! Please! Kill me!
You know, I never once stopped believing that one day you would return, Subaru. And if I did my very best to fulfill the tasks set out before me, you would come to my rescue. And again, that's what you've always done, right? Subaru, I love you.
If you mean Amelia, she told me what I meant to her.
Huh?
She said she loves me, and as long as she has me, she doesn't need anything else.
Mister...
With her cute face and her sweet voice so close that we could have melted together. That's what she said.
You think this is the time for it? You get it? There's no way in hell Amelia would ever tell me that she loves me! Natsuki, please! Please die! Die! Die so that I can live! I don't want to die!
Fairy tales, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about all the wonderful things you guys gave me.
I have no memory of any of that.
Why? Why don't you remember? Why do all of you keep leaving me behind like this? What did I ever do to you? What am I supposed to do? What did I do wrong? I don't understand. Why do you guys hate me so much?
myself I'm broken. I don't need another, but I'll take it.
What do I do? Hey, would you like me to tell you what you should do? Stop putting on a tough guy front around your friends! Subaru Natsuki! Your head is nothing but a big jumbled mess now, and you have no idea what you're going to do, right? Deep down, you know that you're just not good enough. You know you can't reach, don't you? You want to impress that girl you like, don't you? And be someone the girl who likes you can be proud of now, don't you? Then why don't you ever try and accept help from someone? Someone who's truly your friend.
Wait, you're kidding, right? But I'm the Witch of Greed! People from around the world have come to me in search of my knowledge. Very powerful people! So relax, okay? We can just sit down and talk for a while. I have knowledge about the truth of this world that no one—
Not interested.
If you want to go back, I can send you there. But are you sure that's what you want?
罪はただ痛みによってのみあがなわれる。おお、人くないってことは悪人じゃないってことだ。よかったな。
A scary witch, a truly terrifying witch. To even speak her name would chill you to the bone. Everybody referred to her as the Witch of Envy.
I know you.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. I hope you know that. You're hurt. Please don't be hurt now. And please don't suffer. Please, you mustn't look so sad. Just know love. You need to love yourself more.
Don't you get it? You're the one who made me like this in the first place! All the pain, all the torment, everything! It only happens to me! If I'd done nothing, would things be different now? Either way, I'm stuck with a horrible future! Who else but me would have made these choices, huh? Who else would have done the things that I've done?
That is the witch's scent.
You know, Rem mentioned that too.
The foul stench of the witch is covering you from head to toe! The Witch of Envy, Satella. She's pretty much the worst of the worst, I suppose. The story goes that she was starved for love.
I know you.
I love you.
I die, and I come back. I died and started again over and over! All the pain, all the torment, everything! It only happens to me!
For so very long now, I've been deeply in love with you. I love you so much. I hope you know that.
Please stop it.
And the reason I love you is because you gave me everything. Don't you see? That's why.
Stop it!
Stop! どうして気づかないの？あなたが救いたいと願う全ての中にはあなたもいるべきだって当たり前のことに。
ず私を殺しに来てね。
俺が必ずお前を救ってみせる。
Rockin' CDG, but it's on plus. Mr. It's me at the jeans with the compress. Yeah. I ain't said you got a cold heart, fuck. This is me against the world, fuck. Yeah. I say, yeah.
The world is a cruel place. It's also...
Sparkle up your eye. Hit me and tell me you're mine. I don't know why, but I love.
つまりこれはひょっとして異世界召喚ってやつ。
Feel like a brand new passage. That's me.
There exists a phrase, murder becomes a habit. It refers to someone who solved their problem was by murder. Whenever another problem arises, they will think about trying to break through the problem through murder again.
If I could do something, then I'd do it. I swear that I would.
Please forgive me. Please send me back home. If God wanted to punish me then, I understand it was my fault. Subaru said, overwhelmed, with his voice gradually fading away and holding back all his bitterness. Taking the name of all the gods that were to his knowledge, he prayed. He wished forgiveness for the punishment given to him, to his slothful self, reflection and regrets. He had surely done both enough to change his life, so please forgive me. He no longer wished to have anyone else involved in the punishment resulting from Natsuki Subaru's foolishness.
Doctor, I can't tell if I'm not me.
At the same time, you and I took the poison from the same vibe. Oh, I love it and I hate it at the same time. Hiding all of our sins from the daylight.
There are so many things I have to tell you, and so many things I have to ask you. Many, many, many things. But right now, I have to hear just one thing. Please, let me hear your name.
Entrusted by Julius, believed in by Beatrice, forgiven by Echidna, desired by Amelia, by you. If that man's name is Natsuki Subaru, then...
His once reliable return by death is unstable, throwing him into a cycle of failure with no clear way forward. Yet, even broken, he moves, with nothing but raw desperation. Every step forward feels like clawing through glass, but he refuses to stop. So he just keeps going from zero to hero, over and over, again.
You're my hero, Subaru.
Who in the world are you? Why are you doing this? Don't think you can get away with it.
Brain matter flew about, and Flop died as the crimson hue of his blood blended together with the red flames.
Why? Won't tell you anything. Won't it be troublesome if you run away again?
Subaru's throat gulped as Todd's cold voice hit. With one eye closed, Todd looked into Subaru's eyes with a gaze devoid of heat and humidity. His gaze did not contain any hint of evaluating Subaru, which it had just moments ago. Todd had already finished appraising Subaru, and that was why he was like this now.
You should get it deep down as well. We just can't understand each other. I am outwardly suspicious of others, and you believe others to a fault. No matter how many words we exchange, our values are different.
You hear me? I'm not giving up. I'm working on mine. Penny X.
Can't we win?
Nah, we can't.
What exactly made one deserving the title of king? That was one who stands by everyone's wishes. That is who a king is. That's why Natsuki Subaru's ability of Corleone shall lighten the burden on the back of his comrades, so that his comrades can fight without restraints. He shall take all damage for them.
So happy when no more the leather ones. I hope my children told them fast I once or twice a month. Who I understand, and the world is full of it. How about our children who can.
If he takes it all upon himself and things still work out, yeah, he's great. But most people couldn't handle having this burden heaped on their shoulders. So why should he be made to carry all of the weight? Look, brother, at the end of the day, that little lady is what's most important to you, right? Everything I do is solely for my princess. Hell, You should do the same. If a little kid jumped out into the street at a red light, I'd make sure they got back to the sidewalk without thinking twice. And this is kind of the same thing. I know you were looking out for me, Al. Thanks. Because you helped me make up my mind.
All my life, I've always been the type to drift toward whichever path was easiest. Hey, you're thinking of something pretty stupid here. And after all that I went through to save her life.
That's right. What's wrong with taking the path that's easiest? I'll decide how I use my...
You were a wonderful experience.
You were... everything.
Shamak. The next instant, the world of Natsuki Subaru cut to black. Squatting in place, he picked up the black orb that his toes had halted. Cold and hard to the touch, it felt somewhat like a glass ball. This was a jail capable of capturing even a witch.
I understand, bro. No. Natsuki Subaru. I won't kill you.
If I do say so myself, this is the worst situation to be placed in. Piece of shit. Al Shario. I'll win regardless. Your stars are bad.
That will be as far as you go. That will be as far as you go. That will be as far as you go. As far as you go. That will be as far as you go. That will be as far as you go. That will be as far as you go.
There's actually someone in Rezero who's died more than Natsuki Subaru. This person's name is Al or Aldebaran, and he was also isekai from our world. Al has an authority just like Subaru that warps the space and time around him, establishing a domain. When this authority is activated, it will randomly assign the role of aggressor or victim to Al or his opponent in his domain. If Al gets assigned the victim role, whenever he dies, time in his domain will loop back to a certain checkpoint that Al has control over, and he will remember his previous loops, and there's no limit to how many times he can die. On the other hand, if Al is selected as the aggressor, his opponent will remember the previous loops in the domain, while Al will not. The opponent will be trapped in a never-ending loop trying to kill Al, seeming unable to escape till they lose their mind.
I wasn't strong enough to save him. I wasn't strong enough. But I promise, I won't fail again.
But you were never follow me. I've been sleeping a thousand years. It seems you got you up in ways you are free. Without thought, without void, without soul. You moved out of here. What it makes you wake me up, wake me up and sit here. Wake up, wake me up and sit here. Call my name and save me from.
I just can't let you go. I let the world go.
After Al and Volcanicos 132,000 loops and deaths fighting Reinhardt, we find out that this entire time, Al was just waiting for his trap to be triggered. Al set a trap where he was planning for one of the girls back in the watchtower to unsuspectedly read Subaru's Book of the Dead.
You're the smartest in the room. Why do you assume you're the smartest in the room? Why do you assume you're the smartest in the room? And that attitude may be your doom. Why do you ride like you're running out of time? Right day and night like you're running out of...
While commanding the army against Al, Rom noticed that Al had some kind of special ability, and to figure out what it was, he systematically eliminated every single possibility. He slowly started figuring out that Al actually had the ability to time loop, and most importantly, Al had to set a checkpoint for this looping. With this information, Rom tricked Al into setting his looping checkpoint in a false safe zone, which was about to get obliterated by Volcanico's breath.
My name is Subaru Natsuki.
Tried to hurt me with goodbye. You think I'd crumble? You think I'd lay down and die? I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work hard. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. I'm a survivor. Keep on surviving.
Just like when you started time for me, I hadn't been stuck for so long. You make the time that you feel has somehow stopped for you. Continue again. Let's start over right here. From square one. No, I'll start from zero.
I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss.
Me and Rezero,
Natsuki Subaru.
walking side by side.
I'll never smile again until I smile at you. I'll never laugh again. What good would it do? At first, when I see you cry, it makes me smile. Yeah, it makes me smile. And you? What would you do for that?
Why so serious?
I died over 100 million times. Behold an unthinkable present.
I die and I come back. It's true! I've been returning by death! I've died and started again over and over! God, it's...
rewrite our history, rewrite our history. Can change the whole world, gonna take it over, gonna start it over. Don't you know what we could be? A new beginning, fight until we're winning. Tell me that.
How old are you? 29.
Закат последние лета. Черный закладен лицо, а я клажу. Черный закладен лицо, а я клажу. Вдвоем растворяемся где-то. Это наш последний восход, и последний закат, и последнее лето. Черный закладен лицо, а я кажу.
I'm the world's greatest superhero.
You're my greatest failure.
One week at a time. Oh, forget it who you are, for what you stand and gain. Just know that at your heart.
I am pleased to see you.
There must be some part of you still in there.
I more than I ever was.
You'll soon come to realize the ones in danger from snow are all of you right from the beginning.
Patching together, continuing to form its shape. Patching together, continuing to mold its shape. Patching together, continuing to fill in the colors. Patching together, and continuing towards bringing myself closer to completion. Patching together, and even now, as I patched myself together, I was still incomplete.
I don't know where Mama, I'm chasing a ghost. Do I look? Huh. I decided to, then you think I'm beside of you. I would never ever bother you. Yeah, you ain't never got a lot of me. I'm everything that I strive to be. So do I love like you? Темная ночь, только пули свистят по степи. One week at a time. Oh, you're giving everyone for what you stand and gain. Just know that if you hide.
Was disgusted by Subaru's actions, and she vocalized her frustration as she disposed of the man's corpse, but Subaru wasn't happy with Frederica's disrespect. So later that night, when she brought him his dinner, he flipped another coin as she was leaving. "Heads," he said. "Don't worry, Frederica. Your family is safe for now."
What my 9mm go bang bang. What da dang, da. Just watch, dirty babe. You see the shackles, baby, on the slave. I'll let you with me if I misbehave. It's just that no one makes me feel this way.
I heard a voice ripe with hatred, a sound which would not leave my ears. Words imbued with rage followed me. It was frightening, so frightening that I could not bear it. I was being crushed by the pressure of this noise, which did not obscure its murderous intent.
I'm going to kill you!
It gripped onto my soul and would not let go. There was myself, and with the more I clung to my life, the more I would hurt others. First and foremost, I was sorry, so sorry, and yet I was still drowning.
Because in the If Wrath route, Reinhardt, while fatigued and with his divine protection suppressed, Reinhardt was able to defeat Cecilis, who is the strongest character in Vollachia, the fastest man alive, and had 3 years of prep time just for this fight, making him stronger than his main route version. On top of Cecilis, Reinhardt also fought and killed Hannibal, who is the strongest character from Kararagi, and the strongest ninja in the world, whose martial skills are said to be on par with even Reinhardt.
One week at a time. Oh, you're giving everyone for what you stand and gain. Just know that if you hide.
He is a villain by the devil's law. He is a killer just for fun. The man's a snitch and unpredictable. He's got no conscience, he got none.
And for the first time, Reinhard felt immense anger.
To defeat Reinhardt, what Subaru did was destroy everything Reinhardt stood for. And this meant all of Lugunica and everyone that Reinhardt cared about. Subaru worked with the Witch Cult to try to destroy the entire country. And in the final fight with Reinhardt, he managed not to just burn the capital, but the entire country itself.
I've heard this laughter before. The voice of a man I hated.
Girl, I did it for you. I did it for you. I did it for you.